Ice, you working with the coins, yeah. Into ledgers, make a trader spend his coins, yeah. He wrecks, I send the SEC, yeah. They mad, gonna take over the world, yeah. You bad, gonna rehab on the K, yeah. We just wait, saw what Bitcoin's right at first, yeah. Then alts, new Federal Reserve, yeah. Big plans, global settlements, the biz, yeah. Get rich, singing treasures in the street, yeah. It's real neat, full node in the sheets, yeah. On fleek, got control of my keys, yeah. No doubt, Jeff Sprecher ain't got shit, yeah. Private keys, you try to pull a trick, yeah. Get the clicks, claim risk management, yeah. No chance, Kelly run the little biz, yeah. Easy hits, take over all the money, yeah. Institution wins, the coins you look good once you back those coins up. You a fine little ledger when you back those coins up. Call me coin daddy when you back those coins up. Ice, who you playing with, back those coins up. Your coins you look good when you back those coins up. You a spicy little blockchain when you back those coins up. Call me coin daddy when you back those coins up. Rehypothecated when you back those coins up. Bitcoin you look good when you back those coins up. You a fine financial product when you back those coins up. You wanna mess with killing long, yeah, you wrong, yeah. Gonna make the institution sweat, yeah. Get wrecked, NYSE not enough, yeah. You need more and you beat the lightning to the floor, yeah. Oh no, said you settle with the coins, yeah. Not sure, need to see some paperwork, yeah. When moon, now the ETH is coming soon, yeah. Full bloom after Bitcoin opens doors, yeah. So true, power combo making moves, yeah. So cute, Jeff and Kelly making deals, yeah. Real soon, try to take over the world, yeah. No clue, Bitcoin nobody can stop it, yeah. Woo woo, I'ma keep my storage cold, yeah. So true, only deal with proper coins, yeah. No IOUs, don't try to pull a fast one. Bad move, but we'll fuck your ass goodbye. Toodaloo, Bitcoin you look good once you back those coins up. You a fine little ledger once you back those coins up. Call me coin daddy when you back those coins up. Ice, who you playing with, back those coins up. Bitcoin you look good when you back those coins up. You a spicy little blockchain when you back those coins up. Call me coin daddy when you back those coins up. Rehypothecated when you back those coins up. Bitcoin you look good when you back those coins up. You a fine financial product when you back those coins up.
Coin Daddy, straight out of Broad Street, Young Satoshi.
Energy made this one.
It's Trump. Let's get it. Yeah, it's the crypto legend. Yeah, you know what it is, you know what it ain't. You know I got that crypto, I don't fuck with banks. You know I love the crypto, it's my fucking bae. And the markets just dropped, I'm about to up my rank. Yeah, these markets just dropped, you better play it safe. You better go out and study and find your way. Ooh, I'ma get so rich I can buy a lake. Ooh, I'ma get so rich that I can buy a Wraith. Ooh, I'ma get so rich that I can buy a country. Ooh, they like trying your voice sounding kinda country. And I stay at my computer, got these numbers crunching. If I send you a link, then you better punch in. Yeah, my whole team eating, this a fucking luncheon. See y'all bags looking small, y'all bunch of munchkins. If I pass you the ball, then you better dunk it. You can't pass me at all, I do this shit like nothing. They try to call my bluff. How you expect to get rich and you won't do enough? How you expect to get rich and you won't even listen? On the computer cooking up, I don't need a kitchen. Everything I eat exquisite. I'm in the market looking at charts, about to read the digits. By the depth of my chips lays with the ridges. You wanna know what I know, you gon' have to pay to get this. Everything I think in my mind come to real life. Sometimes I gotta stop and think, is this real life? Gotta check my delta, if I don't, I don't feel right. Got it out the mud, you don't know what that feel like. You wanna be rich, then you gotta be consistent. You gotta buy the dips and you gotta be persistent. My old friends with snakes, I can still hear them hissing. Cut anybody off, get in the way of my mission. Bro, boys, y'all better pay attention. You put your money in, you ain't even read the description. The device I put my money in, yeah, it's encrypted. He ran off with the ledger, but he forgot the encryption. About to buy some quick off a quick swap. About to buy some backwoods, let me hit the quick stop. He bought all meme coins, popping dumb quick drop. He think crypto dead, but really there's just a pit stop. I got a mini Draco and my girl got a big Glock. If you just do what I say so, you gon' make a lot. Catch a 7.62 tryna break a lot. Or you just might catch a few, cause I'ma spray a lot. Don't try to paint me as the villain, but if you break in my house, you gon' die like Krillin. That's that spiffy baton. Go look him up on Spotify, then go look up Tron. I go above and beyond. I make so much magic you would think I had a wand. And it's only one Harry Potter, y'all a bunch of Rons. You can talk how I talk, but it's only one Tron.
Ta-da! What up, folks? It's your boy MMG Smurf here, coming to you live like we do just about every day. And yeah, today I wanted to discuss, have a discussion with the community. This is meant to be an open discussion with the Smash Bros community. Also with anybody who's interested in talking about, bring up this discussion. I want you to be able to voice your opinion. I want to voice our opinion and our research and just the reasons why we do the things that we do. Because I feel like if nothing else, there's a lot of people, especially in this day and age, that just decide to go with hate over understanding and over humanity. I would say, because we're all people out there, and people just refuse. I don't know. Maybe it's not that they refuse, but there's like a lack of care to understand other people, and so that's why we're opening up the discussion today. Giving the people the floor to leave some comments. If you really want to get on voice chat, we can make it so that you can get on voice chat. Even join our Discord and we can talk. But we want to have this open and frank discussion with the Smash Bros community, and then we'll go ahead and do our normal thing where we start off these streams and we talk about how Money Match Gaming is actually able to fund our esports events and stuff like that. I want to kind of give that backseat right now. But where did the idea for this discussion come from today? So the idea for this discussion comes from, drum roll, the Smash community. Smash community gave me the idea for this discussion last week. Was another one of Money Match Gaming's NFT Weekly tournaments. We've been doing this tournament all 2021, and then in 2022, of course, we're gonna be running some of those. And we've honestly, hold on, go back to the couch real quick. We honestly started to slow down on the NFT Weekly events just because we noticed that there was becoming more and more like hostility toward the NFT community and toward the cryptocurrency community in general. We've always approached things in a manner that, we don't want people to lose any money if they have any interest in those type of things. And we don't really even ask for subs from people and stuff like that. We're about finding ways to give back to our community. And so when we started to notice that hostility, we started to slow down our events, not because we couldn't fund them, but just because we wanted to be able to, see how things are going. But that wasn't to stop us from holding events. It's not going to stop our journey and our dream to be able to provide for these communities, provide for esports in a way that we wish existed when we were growing up, because that's kind of like our overall goal. But right before our last event, we got this tweet that hit the airwaves on Twitter from Jake, who is an APLE Apple player. They're known for playing Steve. Forget which top competitor they beat from playing like all slow and whatever the heck. But they posted a few, as smashers do, they scroll through Smash GG and look for tournaments, and they found Money Match Gaming's tournament. We're used to smashers finding your tournament on the last day, which is why we always have our registrations go to the last day. Understanding the community. We've been in the community, just as a little backup for a few seconds. We've been in the Smash Bros community since 2015, 2016, like in the community. We started streaming in 2000. We started our business and stuff like that and looking over things in 2015. And then we started streaming pretty consistently, like almost every day or every week. At that time, in 2016, and here we are in 2022. So we've been around the block for quite a while, and we found cryptocurrency in 2017 while we were looking for ways to self-fund Money Match Gaming, aka not from we noticed Twitch subscribers and stuff like that just weren't enough, and we also felt kind of like cringe about like asking our follower base to support us as a living entirely. Like it's like we should be able to sell something or do something with investments or something that supports us. And so that's where we found that avenue, and we'll get into that later. But okay, fast forward to last week. We were having another one of our NFT Weekly prize pools, and these were $35 prize pools. But then we started to decrease it due to the utility behind our NFTs, and also the hate within the Smash Bros community, where we were like, honestly, as people that are giving away so much money, you're just like, eventually, it starts to wear on you, and you're like, do we really want to give away that much money? Like, people like are so quick not to listen and just like try to shit on you and ruin your brand. Do we want to do that versus trying to find a more positive community toward us? Even our commentator recently decided fuck Money Match Gaming, basically, and we're like, okay, well, it doesn't really make us feel good. That's how you feel, and we pay you and support you, always in your corner for years now, but let that be that. So let's go through this tweet. First image is just NFT Weekly, $5. So let's read through this because I think reading is important. But Jake's response is, bro, laugh my fucking ass off. And reading through, what do we say? NFT Weekly, so it's our tournament. $5 prize pool plus an NFT bonuses. And it's hosted by Money Match Gaming. So you get $5 if you win the event. And then you also have the option for NFT bonuses. And we'll discuss what those bonuses are. So here's what our trophies look like. This is the trophy from our alpha event series. And it's the first place trophy. That's what that looks like. Here's the silver trophy and what it looks like. And the bronze trophy. That's what those look like. I think those are the only images they actually had there. Yeah. So they had those there. And then it continues to get, then gets 51 tweets. We can look at some of these quoted retweets. Ban the TO, to be honest. I won the NFT Weekly. Good games to all my opponents. Happy to make such a awesome prize. So somebody who's clowning because they did not. But people think that whenever you just copy an NFT image or Square, then you have that NFT. It's like, not really. That's kind of just promotion for that NFT. You have to actually understand the technology. And I know people are just clowning when they do stuff like that because it's super simple to get more information than that. But at the same time, you kind of wonder, like, do people just not know this much about crypto and NFTs? Is that really the case? Here we go. A fucking $5 prize pool and some 20-cent JPEGs. I hope they are happy having their day wasted playing on McDonald's Wi-Fi for a worthless cartridge picture. I'm like, yeah, so again, it's a lot of activity that you get. It was a higher prize pool, but when you're getting this type of hate for just like the name of your event and stuff like that, it makes you not want to give away that much money. And then we still haven't even gotten into the utility of the NFTs. The NFTs themselves, the gold trophy, adds $5 onto your personal prize pool. And you don't have to get first place to get that $5. If you have the gold NFT trophy, all you need to do is get top 8, and it's our way of extending the top 8 prize pool. So you need a top 8 placement after you've won one of our events before, and you can walk away with $5. So that makes our event $10. But we don't know how much it's going to be each event, so we have to say bonuses. But here's that. G, we actually know G, Grumpy Gamer G, from A&G Esports, which they've had a tough 2021 and 2022. It's been tough for a lot of esports organizations. We're one of the few esports organizations that we know of that's actually been really successful throughout the entire pandemic. We've only amplified. We're probably up like 100x on everything that we've contributed toward Money Match Gaming throughout the pandemic. But he says, I'm gonna get dragged, but I gotta say it. MMG is a great org that is so underrated and deserve more attention. I ain't lying when I say that these guys truly, and I mean it, care about their players and community, and we really do. And I wouldn't be having this discussion as an open discussion if we didn't care about the community. Trying to actually have a discussion with the community. I believe I already understand everybody's, the people that hate on crypto and NFTs side of things, because I too was skeptical at one point, but I have had the opportunity or the luxury that, I've always worked from home before the pandemic. So I always had time to do more research on the things that I considered important toward the future of my job or the future of digital technology in general. And so I would always do that type of research. And then after the pandemic, there was a time where I had another streaming gig, but I eventually quit that and went full time into crypto and NFTs and stuff like that. And I've been able to learn that much more to the point that, I'm not going to be going back to any other job if I don't have to. And trying to position our players and our community to the point that they don't have to. I'd love to see our moderator be full-time Money Match Gaming soon. They don't deserve to get dragged. They're great people. Thanks, G. This guy just retweets it because, this guy just retweeted it. We got a mind explosion here. I said, thanks for the promo on our esports NFTs. I realize most don't get it and just make silly jokes, but promo is promo. Scripter's got a grift. Am I right? And we got a few quotes on our retweets on that. Just another retweet. Can't believe I won my first online tournament. Another person trying to joke, and because that's the funniest thing in the world, to not understand what you're talking about when people do that. Oh my God, Smash Trophy NFTs, lol. NFT trophies, no way. I have no idea. It's the first time that Lyric has actually bothered to interact with us, and we followed them for years. So, hey, first time Lyric of Wisdom actually interacted with Money Match Gaming. We've left comments on tweets and stuff like that before too, but fuck it, right? People talk shit right now until MMG tries buying the gold trophy for $400. Seriously, though, if people were actually putting the trophies on the market, we would buy up our own fucking trophies. They just don't care to actually understand what we're trying to provide for them and opportunities and stuff. People don't care. And it just takes a little bit of open-mindedness. Imagine playing your heart out for a JPEG. It's not just for a JPEG. You can see that it's $5, and then the trophy, which is a piece of code, actually, more so than the JPEG. We don't, it's not a JPEG number one because it's a video actually, but whatever. Mr. E after placing fourth at the tourney. I remember all the Mr. E drama that people put him through. But yeah, it's in response to this, and then I'll go through one more tweet before, like, really, I'm hoping we get some people that actually want to discuss this. Like, maybe, if you have hate, and I know a lot of people do, you got tons of negative things to say on these comments, I would like to hear some of it. Otherwise, it's just going to be me discussing things and trying to educate people a little bit more. But more Salsa, who does still follow us, so shout out to that, being able to disagree with somebody and still, follow them, because, a lot of the people that just, like, hated on us, we still follow them. We're like, it's like being mad at like an addict, and like hating them and like just totally throwing them out of your life and never wanting, and it's like, that's a disease. Do you really want to be that way about somebody who has a disease, or do you want to try to help them? And in this case, we want to try to help these people. We've always been here to try to help these people. But more Salsa, a little disappointed with the response. What am I reading, bro? And then our information and stuff like that. And so I share this information, this is what we're using. We're using a carbon neutral blockchain, this and that. Most people don't want to hear stuff like that, that there are actually carbon neutral blockchains. And this is just one carbon neutral blockchain. The fact of the matter is, most blockchains that are coming out, that have come out since Bitcoin and Ethereum, most blockchains that came out in 2021 or 2022 are carbon neutral. That's just the fact of the matter, because technology keeps increasing, and people are making better and better programs. And most of the people that are involved in cryptocurrency and NFTs are millennials. And what do millennials care about? We care about the environment. So we're not just going to continue to use something that's, costly, like in terms of dollar amount, and then also bad and damaging to the environment, or isn't doing anything about their damages to the environment. Why would we support that? We don't. But nobody wants to read into the actual things and the information that you put down in front of them. So there's that portion of things. I want to take the time. Let me refresh this really quickly. Maybe I'll put it on the end of this thing. But yeah, hello, level 3, welcome. Just doing a little discussion with the Smash Bros community. Should anybody actually happen to reach out and try to discuss with us. What do I believe are a lot of people's issues with cryptocurrency and NFTs? Most of the time, we could, I don't know if I'll get it on this one, maybe on this one. There's like a lot more comments on some of the stuff that are just hidden and stuff. But most people, homie has paid out more to participants than he has taken in for years. Facts. I just gave away like $2,000 over like Christmas to like our community. Like, cause if you can, we give back, and we've always done that shit. But where was I about to get to over here? Let me switch this up. Oh, what are most people's what are most people's grievances with cryptocurrency and with NFTs? So just trying to understand things from the haters' point of view, the people that just want to troll you pretty much, or troll us pretty much, point of view. I believe that most of their issue with cryptocurrency, and correct me if I'm wrong, this is why I'm trying to make this an open discussion with you guys. But I believe most of the people's point of view is that there are grifters in crypto and NFTs. What are grifters? Grifters are basically scammers, people that are trying to prey on their community or on their followers, their followership or whatever. And that's a grifter. When we get responses, and we often, we've been called grifters and stuff like that since people found out that we're interested in NFTs. But we have a recent tweet here. 2019. This is when they took the snap. Like when they're taking the snap, you had to at least be on the platform by this date. So we were on the platform before that date. We've been around the block for a while. Most people did not hear about crypto or NFTs until 2021, 2022, or 2020, and we were already on this blockchain to the point that we could get this NFT right here in 2019. We bought our first NFTs in 2018. So in 2019, we started looking for eco-friendly alternatives, because back in 2018, it was Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I was like, oh, that's fine. But like people, even then, before the Ethereum network was exploding with transactions and stuff like that, people were talking about, oh, this is going to start to become a consumption issue, and the network's going to get clogged up. And what does that do for the environment and stuff like that? And we need alternative solutions. This was happening back in 2018 that people were having these discussions. And so we started looking for alternatives back then, and we found wax. But I understand that the people's argument with that, and where they think that that's the only way, that the only thing that exists is these proof of work blockchains and processes, and that they're damaging to the environment, and that they're never going to change or something like that, or that they haven't changed, that they haven't reduced any of this impact, any of this negative carbon footprint. And we'll keep going before I just go, no, that's not true, really. I'd argue that if anybody honestly feels otherwise, how much have you looked into what their advancements have been in the last few years? Do you agree that they or do you just disagree that they just haven't changed at all over the last year? Is that really the way that you feel? They just haven't changed at all since they've started. They've made no advancements. Versus maybe a company that people support, like YouTube. I would say, this is where I would really ask, do you agree or disagree? What has YouTube done to Vocally, or to many of YouTube users? Because in terms of blockchain, many of the blockchain users actually know these things. But how many YouTube users know what YouTube's changes have been to their company policy to fix their energy efficiency, or Netflix's company policies to fix their energy efficiencies? I'm just curious. If anybody has anything on that, please let me know. And I really doubt anybody does, because most people don't care to actually look into those things. You find something to hate on, and it's probably because it was pushed in front of you. Not to say that you can't do your own research, or you don't look for things that you're actually interested in, but most of the time it seems like nowadays when somebody is upset at a celebrity or someone else, it's not because they looked into that celebrity themselves and they found that information. It's because somebody else said that information was trending and this is what they did, and then most of the time people don't even go on to read the actual article. They kind of just make a basis of, build their base around, this is what I feel about that person now, from what I read in that headline. We got grifting, scams. Most people think that NFTs and cryptocurrency are just scams. And in a lot of cases, there are, of course, you can find scams, you can find grifters within the cryptocurrency space. Again, to be called that yourself when you give back so much to the community, when you're so transparent. Our goal throughout 2019 and 2020 was just to be as transparent as possible with our community. And that's why we do these streams so often now. So to get response like that back from people, it's oh man, it's kind of, it throws Infinite and I we had our meeting last night. We were talking about prize pools and we wanted to do and stuff like that. And the overall theme, the kind of consistent theme of things seemed to be there's salt in the wound. A lot of people that we trusted and, that we support, and that we would make time for. I could be having a conversation with my girlfriend and see somebody had a bad tweet, they weren't feeling well, and be I need to go check up on this person at least, or whatever. You're what do you think? Do you think I should say, I want to say something, I want to help. But that's the level that we come into the community with. And so to get these type of responses, it throws salt in that wound. A lot of people think that crypto and NFTs are just for flipping and making money. To some degree, some of them are. But when has it been bad that somebody else could flip and make money? People aren't exactly upset at Gary Vee for going to garage sales and flipping RC cars or little Hot Wheels and making money. People aren't upset at people for making money on eBay or Amazon. And typically people aren't upset at artists in general for just making money, for creating a piece of art and then flipping it, not just giving it out for free and making some money. It's just interesting. A lot of people also feel the art is ugly for NFTs. I also feel this is kind of subjective, but a lot of people feel the art is ugly for NFTs because there's so many different ones and stuff. How could you just say that? They feel they're just a JPEG. We saw a lot of comments that I kind of ran through where people think that they're just JPEGs. Let's see what this comment is underneath here. You can legally win trade now, huh? Win trade. I mean, technically, I guess, yeah. If you won and you wanted to trade it to somebody else, yes. Because the NFT trophy itself is just, it's an NFT, but it provides a boost. And so if you're not going to go to the idea behind it is if you're not going to go to an event this week, but you do have a trophy and you have a really good friend on your team or just a friend of yours or something like that, and you want, maybe I believe this person can get to 8th place at least. They're good enough to at least get to 8th place, even if they don't win the event. Give them that NFT trophy for the week. Tell them, as a friend. And they prove to us that they have that trophy. and get 8th place, and all of a sudden they have $5. If you had 2 of those gold trophies because you've been and won multiple Money Match Gaming events, then they're getting $10 upon a top 8 placement, and it keeps stacking up. It's a way for us to distribute more to the community. But like, people aren't going to learn that if they don't actually take the time to, like, it's super easy to just hate on a project or something like that when you've heard so much hate going around. But like, when you actually learn things, oftentimes a lot of these people are just trying to help and trying to educate more. And then Ecocide, the last complaint that I believe the community probably has about crypto and NFTs is Ecocide, where people believe that, yo, why can't I reg in the server? What are you trying to reg for? I'm not sure what you're trying to reg for. Oh, like register for your DLive username? You need to be a Money Match Gaming follower for a few hours at least. The bot does that to make sure that people aren't just like following and then unfollowing. And then also it's like it checks in with the DLive API, and so that the DLive API actually does like an update sync every few hours. It's not like automatic. I think that's probably to do with when they actually confirm your account and stuff like that. But since it doesn't do it like instantly all the time, our bot has to wait for the DLive API to actually update, and then you can do it. So it's usually a few hours to 24 hours, and then you can do it. But after, I'll look in our Discord afterwards, admins are actually able to expedite the process, and so I'll expedite that for you, and we can get that done, handled for you. Thanks for taking interest. Boom. Where was I? Yeah, the Ecocide portion. Yeah, people believe it's NFTs and cryptocurrency are just strictly Ecocide. That's like an argument that, like, if you read any, like, the Wall Street Journal, the Economist, the AP, BBC, Forbes, if you read any of these actual like publications, Huffington Post, it's pretty quick and easy to find out that it's not that simple of an answer. That NFTs or cryptocurrency just result in, especially NFTs, just result in ecocide. And ecocide is like a damaging acts to the environment, intentionally, pretty much. Like, oh, we're gonna kill off the environment. And it's really hard to say about cryptocurrency and NFTs. And I don't mean like oh, it's difficult to it's just like saying something like that doesn't necessarily make sense and register to people that are actually taking their time or involved in these blockchains. First reason why, and I'll just go through a few, and let me know like how you feel about this, like if you agree or disagree. First reason is that many, like as I explained earlier, many of these blockchains that are coming out now are proof of stake blockchains or carbon neutral blockchains. They're based in the cloud, or they're using other technologies that make it so that they're much less energy consumptive. So they're really highly energy efficient blockchains. A lot of people have issues with Ethereum and the fact that they believe like all NFTs, if you're not in crypto and NFTs, then chances are that you believe that all NFTs are run on the Ethereum blockchain. Every NFT in existence is on the Ethereum blockchain, and that's not true. The fact of the matter is, the Wax blockchain, a carbon neutral blockchain, processes more transactions than the Ethereum blockchain. And the other blockchains also exist where people are, like Polygon, where people would prefer to go to over the Ethereum blockchain, mostly just based on price, the cost for transactions and stuff like that. But within that, is also the technology that's running Polygon, aka Matic, which is another proof of stake blockchain. And so that also has a lot less energy consumption. And how much less? It's like more than 99% less energy consumption. It's like when you do those percentages to other United States businesses and stuff like that, or international businesses, it's hard to find other ones that are actually reducing their carbon footprint to that level, or will ever that are reducing that are attempting to. Most of them just aren't interested, aren't trying to do that, and the populace isn't interested in making them. Most people aren't interested in even trying to make them do that. So why would they? The target is on the back of cryptocurrency and NFTs, not on these big companies. So why would they ever have to worry? They've never had to worry about it before. Why would they have to worry about it now? But there's that one portion of things. And speaking of that, I wanted to kind of jump into, I think this is it, right? Oh, no, this is on the Ethereum side of things. So with people believing that all NFTs run on Ethereum. So if you're into crypto and NFTs as well, and obviously we would all agree that like, any impact on the environment is bad, and if it's a negative impact, we don't want it to happen, right? But Ethereum wasn't designed to just destroy the environment. It just started to gather so many users, so much money on it, so many users, that eventually, like any company, as it scales up, you start to consume more and more energy, and it's because it's a global product that can be used by anybody. And so, being such, it started to damage that's like if you had a huge factory just start spawning across an entire neighborhood. And so eventually, the people of that neighborhood are going to start to complain, right? And they're going to start to say things like, we need this factory to become, renewable energy or solar dependent, like, screw all the smog and stuff like that going up in the air. I feel like most people would agree with that. But oftentimes, what you get in movies and stuff like that, unless it's a happy ending movie, is that either the company just goes under, the people do something to get rid of the company. And I feel like that's where a lot of people are kind of taking their stance right now. Or that company actually has it in their plans, or they decide to change their plans, and they become friendlier, and they actually do the will of the people. They actually fix things. In the case of Ethereum, it has been for over, crypto people have known this for years now, like 2-3 years. Like Ethereum is working on updating to Ethereum 2.0, and Ethereum 2.0 started, and was it 2020? I want to say like late 2020, where you could start like depositing your Ethereum for Ethereum 2.0, and they're almost there. Ethereum 2.0 should be starting, I believe, in June of 2022. I believe it's June. It might be July, but this summer. And what is Ethereum 2.0? Ethereum 2.0 is the practice or the process of Ethereum moving from a proof of work blockchain to a proof of stake blockchain. So no longer will Ethereum, the high energy consumption blockchain that everybody like has so much hate and disdain for, and can point to NFTs and be like, so many NFTs, not all again, but so, a bunch of NFTs run on Ethereum, and so that's why we don't like it and stuff. Well, what do you do when Ethereum starts Ethereum 2.0, reduces their energy consumption by how much? By 99.95%. That's how much the energy consumption will be reduced by 99 point. This is how much our moderators can be making this month, but 99.95%. So if Ethereum is averaged to make to do 73 kilowatts a year or somewhere around there, and then I'm gonna minus 99.95%. That means that Ethereum's energy consumption per year will be 0.03 kilowatts an hour. That's a drastic reduction that Ethereum has been working on implementing for a global user base and has already started to implement over a year ago. And like, that's something that you can also not say for many other companies, even companies that are carbon neutral and stuff like, because this then makes it carbon neutral. But not other many, it's hard for companies to do this. And many of them they don't need to. Legacy companies and stuff like that, nobody's complaining to them, or they just have so much money that nobody's going to dare challenge them and do anything about this. And we could go through and read the rest of this article, and they'll talk about proof of work versus proof of stake and how Ethereum is doing this and this and that. But yeah, this is the truth. It's just the fact of the matter, and this is what's actually happening in cryptocurrency. And I feel like a lot of people don't know this. They kind of just they hear what they hear from the media, and it's a really easy target to be like, yeah, this thing does this much damage, and that number sounds big, sounds large, right? And we'll compare it to a nation state. But what else is doing that level of harm to the environment? Companies that you're probably not considering. And before I go into this next portion, I do want to come over to this window over here. Oh, and this is the article from Coin Market Cap, but you can find this all over the place. Like, again, if you're in cryptocurrency and NFTs, you know about this, and you've known about this for a long time. And this is why a lot of them, crypto NFT people either just don't even engage with NFT hate, or just like whatever, because they've known about this for years. But this is where I got that from, and you can find it in many other places online. Next, I want to check out before we go into this next tab that I have open is Ethereum's current market cap. Ethereum's current market cap is about $250 billion. We're going to call that. And that's right. Let's see. This is a million. Yeah, billion. Yeah, $250 billion. And so where does Ethereum rank amongst big businesses in the world? Ethereum ranks about 34, up 4 spots over Pfizer, who just made a ton of money due to the pandemic, over Toyota, over Vanguard, over ASML, over Platinum, over Coca-Cola, over Chevron, over Walt Disney, over Adobe, over PepsiCo, over Cisco. That's how big they are and how much they're doing as far as market cap. And so I want to bring that into, because market caps mean like this, basically how much money is going into this project. And so it might not be by individuals like using the product, but by how much money is going into the project right now, because somebody's got to get ahead of it. And who's going to get ahead of it? The big players, the people who are forethought people, the people that want to get ahead projects. They want to be first to things. Boom. Cool. And so Ethereum is currently ranking in at 34. Bitcoin is ranking in at number 10, almost to 1 trillion. And then we have Facebook, Tesla, Amazon, Google, aka YouTube, Microsoft, Apple, and then gold at the top of the list, because gold is old, right? Cool. So a lot of people know that it's been made common practice that Ethereum costs all this energy and this energy consumption. It's so bad. But what about the energy consumption used up by Apple every year? Does anybody know? I'll wait for a comment. If anybody's had a comment, like, how much energy does Apple consume a year? Apple products. How about Apple or Microsoft? How about Amazon? How about Google? Tesla. And Tesla's working on all sorts of renewable and energy efficient products and stuff like that, but they still have a carbon footprint. How much? Facebook. I can let you know that from previous research that I've done, Google and Facebook are pretty close to each other. And I didn't even look up all of Google, just YouTube. YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp are all pretty close to each other in energy consumption. YouTube is above the rest of them, so I believe it comes in somewhere closer to like where Netflix is in that energy consumption. And that's about like Ethereum is around 73 kilowatt hours a year. Yeah. And then companies like YouTube are how many? 600. So 73 versus 600. How much is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is about 100 something kilowatt hours a year. And so that means that YouTube itself, an arm of Google, is about 6 times more energy consumption than Bitcoin and Ethereum, which provide international banking, gaming solutions, monetization for artists, and so on. The use cases are still being created for these technologies. And on top of that, these technologies within a 10-year period are already working on making themselves carbon neutral and better for the environment. How long has Google been around? Amazon, Tesla, Berkshire Hathaway, NVIDIA, Johnson & Johnson. How long have these companies been around, and how much, and what is their carbon footprint, and how much are they changing things? Because you could argue that, JP Morgan Chase is so important because we need them for banking. But like, when is that banking system ever going to get better for the environment? Do we really need that legacy banking system that is making, quite honestly, a few people super ultra rich? Because we don't have to have a specific banking versus a banking system that's made for the entire globe that uses up a fraction of their energy consumption, but nobody's asking questions about that. And so that's just like, that's part of my question is like, but do people actually care? Or is it just the fact that it's super easy to go out there and spout out somebody else's words? Don't know. I was really hoping we had some more questions and so that they come through. We could actually talk about it, but not seem to get it. Yeah, along with these products. So, and that's just the energy consumption of like running YouTube itself, an online application, or running the Amazon Web Services themselves, the online portions of these websites. But within these companies and within a lot of other companies on this list are other energy consumption factors that don't go into their product itself, but do revolve around that product and that company. I'm going to use this chart right here to help demonstrate that. And also, this is the list that I was looking at. I realized I was on the couch scene when I was scrolling through it. You can see Ethereum down here. But this right here is the lifestyle of a playing card. And I decided to choose this because when I was looking at Jake's tweet, I noticed that Jake is a Pokemon card player. And a lot of people, sometimes people are haters against cryptocurrency, NFTs, and they're like, oh, it's all about gold. Well, and like, especially if like a gold bug tries to say the cryptocurrencies and NFTs are bad for the environment and pollute and this and that. And it's like, do you know what it takes to produce gold? And they're like, oh, not as much as that. Not true. You need equipment. You need labor, aka that person has to live somewhere. And the fact that they have to live close to that site and generate energy and stuff like that on that property and stuff, that's that's energy consumption. And then on top of that, you have to transport that gold. Then you have to move the gold out of the mine, and then you have to move it across the world. It's a lot of energy consumption. But people don't think about these things. And the same thing goes for things like trading cards. Even though the process of making the trading, the process of making a trading card, and this is a few years ago, globally, is about the size of a United States village. From a few articles that I read, and so that's about 5,000 United States homes, which I forgot how much CO2. I think it's like 40 tons of CO2 annually per United States home is the average. And so you would think that that's where it ends. No, that's just the energy consumption. The village is the energy consumption. And again, a United States village is probably gonna be different than another country's village. Quite honestly, but the energy that we use up in the United States home is a lot more than another country's household's energy is annually. So another thing to consider. But that's just for the card production itself, just the card. Then you have things to factor in there, like what type of card is it? Is it a holographic card? Because holographics require certain type of inks or acrylics. And look into the energy consumption that it costs to just make acrylics in general. I know there's a lot of painters and artists out there that do traditional art, and they do acrylic painting, and they don't like the idea of NFTs. They think that's damaging to the environment. Look up the cost of producing that acrylic paint. When you look up the cost of producing acrylic paint and you find out that it's actually a negative impact on the company, like the company is actually going into the negative. They have to do certain things and create it at such a large scale when they do that production of that paint or whatever the heck to try to negate losses. Like, is that really the best solution? Like, I would imagine that if you can mint one thing for in the specific that you need, that would be better. Like, oh, I need this much, and so I'll use that much. Not I need this much, like a small vial, and so I'll make the amount of like 50 million of these so that we as a company don't take a loss. But then we have to figure out a way to advertise these to people and actually get them to use them. Is that really the best? I don't know. But when we start to look through this process, there's things like the acrylic side of things. There's things like the paper packages that some cards and stuff like that come into, and not just the creation of those packages, and there's the transportation of those packages to the facility, and then or the plastic packages, the machinery that goes into that, the creation of that machinery. All of these are included in the the energy consumption of making a card pack. But people don't often throw them together. They don't want to throw them together. They want to go, oh, well, it's this small thing right here. In this newer technology, the point of it, when you're looking at what's the actual like positive aspect of it, is the point of it is to get rid of all these middlemen and all these added layers that drive up the energy consumption across the globe. And like, yes, there's it's a bunch of different businesses and stuff. Like, all those businesses, if it only took one, would be way less impactful on the environment. That's how you negate Ecocide, not by targeting, in my opinion, not by targeting this one thing can handle all of that. Well, then, yeah. I think that should say enough. I had a conversation with a person the other day where I mentioned to them the YouTube thing, where I'm like, YouTube uses up 6 times the energy that Bitcoin and Ethereum do combined. Like, what do you have to say about that? And the person's response, well, YouTube has billions of users, and so of course YouTube should. And it's like, but they shouldn't. Even if that's the case, you don't think YouTube should be doing anything across their lifespan as a company to negate that impact? YouTube should never have to do anything because they have so many users, was this person's argument, that they should never have to worry about their carbon footprint and negating that at all, doing anything in YouTube or at Google to bring that energy consumption down and to harm the environment less. Like, would you agree with that? I'm just curious, how do people feel about things like that? That's just fine. That's fine because it's big though. This thing is big, and so they shouldn't have to worry about changing anything. We just don't want them to. Then what's your point to going at somebody else? I don't understand that. I personally don't understand that type of approach, because I'm looking at YouTube like, no, I would like to see you guys do something. Help something, put up some fucking windmills or something, and like use those to power your servers. Some of these data centers and stuff like that. That's where we should be looking at, but they're not even nobody's twisting their arm to do any of that. And why? Why? Meanwhile, we have another industry that nobody was twisting their arm to do it, but they already are doing it. While they're receiving tons of hate for working on doing it efficiently and checking all the boxes and making sure that it's going to last for a long time, for hundreds of years. Tons of hate in the meantime. And so it's yeah, I don't know. What else do I have here? Oh, cool. So the next portion of things that I was going to do, and I guess we're not going to get any questions about NFTs or cryptocurrencies. I think I covered other people's opinion and threw my own in there. But the next thing that I want to run through was some of these other blockchains. So again, everybody knows blockchain energy are protocols and their energy footprint. This was done in 2021, September. And I believe a lot of people just think that blockchains, like across the board, are just like super damaging to the environment. Because when people don't just like when they try to be a little bit more understanding about NFTs, I've often heard people be like, "Well, it's not the NFT themselves." And I saw this in the Mr. E thread post as well. We're like, "Well, it's not the NFTs themselves. It's really the blockchains," you know. And so that's why I don't support NFTs, because it's really the blockchains that are damaging the environment. And it's like, is it though? Is that the truth? And is there nothing being done about that? Because like, you're just gonna stop eating at McDonald's because they're damaging the environment or some wherever else you eat? Because lo and behold, the fact that they turn on the lights is damaging the environment. They could just be using fucking wax candles and whatever the heck and doing wax the natural way, but they're not. Nothing to say about that. Oh, well, no, seriously though. Like, if you're gonna attack somebody else like that, you don't feel like you should like question them at all? I feel like that's a little too nitpicky, in my opinion. But let's run through some of these blockchains, because everybody believes that every blockchain is on the level of Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's all the blockchain's fault. If it's not just the NFTs, if I couldn't just blame the NFTs, then I should blame the blockchains. And so let's run through things though. So Bitcoin, 707 kilowatt hours as of 2021. Between 90 and 160 hours, depending on studios and methodologies adopted, the annual energy consumption. So there it is. And then we see Ethereum's saying 62. And both of these are like significant, I'm sure. Significant. But what happens when we start running through to some of these other blockchains? Cardano. What's Cardano ranked currently as a cryptocurrency? Yeah, number 6 overall. So number 6 overall cryptocurrency. What are they looking like? 0.54 kilowatt hours a year energy consumption, negligible. And just to prove, let's just look at it. YouTube energy consumption. It's just super easy Google search. Will consume over 600. Those other ones are kilowatt hours. This is terawatt hours a year. 2.5% of the global electricity use. It's actually insane. It's not even it's terawatts. It's insane. Nobody's asking YouTube to change anything with their practices. Why not? When they're in a whole nother ball game. They're not even in the kilowatt hour region. They're in the terawatt hour region of 600. But they're so big. No, they're used by Western countries mostly, actually. And everybody else that uses it doesn't use it on the level of these Western countries. Why can't Western countries care to actually fix their issues? Is it just better to point a finger at the new up-and-coming dogs that are making more money and starting to flip some of these other companies like ExxonMobil and Pfizer and Toyota and Coca-Cola? Is it because maybe that's why they have the target on their back? But let's not get into too many conspiracy things. Let's just stick with the fact that it's a lot more energy than people were considering for one website. A United States-based website, because the rest of the world, of course, wants it for the United States technology, right? But let's keep going. Binance Smart Chain. Theirs is so small. Again, we have 0.5 kilowatt hours being consumed up here. But theirs is so small that they didn't even put it on this dang chart. You said it's negligible. It's too small. When you read through this, that's basically what they say. Yeah, it's small number. Yeah, it's like the way they do it. It's centralized, but the power consumption is so small, so negligible that it's just not even worth like mentioning. Solana, same case. And so when these are, and it's again, Solana's a lot more centralized, and we can keep going down. Negligible. Guess who starts to, they're still negligible, but they start to hit the list? Dogecoin. You know, a lot of people want to talk about it, Bitcoin. But a lot of these are just going to be in the negligible zone. They're just going to be in the negligible zone. These are all the other top crypto blockchains that are coming in. You could put all these together, all these other blockchains together, and they would be less than YouTube's energy consumption. So you're going to tell me that YouTube is so dang important, and some of these blockchains, this was the other thing that a lot of people don't realize, some of these blockchains actually have their own versions of YouTube on them. They've just figured out how to make it more energy efficient. Meanwhile, they also have the NFT ecosystems running on them, and all of them combined still are not as much energy. And Ethereum hasn't even done the 99.95% reduction yet. But that's going to happen this year. And so then you just have Bitcoin to worry about. And it's just like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like a good argument to me to be like, oh, that whole technology should go away because YouTube, Facebook are so much more important to the world and to the world's needs. The world could not exist without a YouTube and Facebook. You know, we need this legacy banking system that we currently have to be the only banking system where, large percentages of people's money are taken when they want to send it to somebody from another country, maybe because their family needs it, or they haven't been banked before. They've never had a bank. You know, why would we ever need technology like that? Why would that work? You know, why would we ever want gaming ecosystems and economies where you can take your game item from one game to the next, or you're done playing this game, you can sell the game, or if you can't sell the game, you can sell your items that you actually earned from the game to somebody else who still wants to play the game right now and earn your money back from that game. Why would we want things like that? You know, and that's kind of like the approach people are taking. Like, I wouldn't want that, but maybe they don't even know that exists. I don't know. I was really hoping for a few more comments so we could discuss it. But that's just, I don't know. That's just where it seems like the state of the internet is right now. I think it's a shame that more people aren't educated on some of these topics, or I don't know, aren't willing to have an actual discussion with you where it's more than I throw out meme, I get nice ratio on things. You know, this influencer made so much money off of hating on it, let me try to type of mentality, because I think that's kind of disgusting. Yeah. Personal opinion. Was really hoping we got more people to talk about this with, but I don't think we're going to. Let's see if we got any through tweets. Maybe some came through via a tweet. Nah, we're not gonna get any. But yeah, if you want to leave any comments beneath the post or on Twitter or something like that, I'm willing to have that conversation. I'd really like to understand other people's, if there's other points that I haven't covered, and if you can find any of these blockchains that aren't in, they have their current impacts and they're all working on becoming better and better for the environment. And I'm just like, yeah, well, when do we get these other companies in the world that are above them to start working on those things? When do the card companies and the actual video, how much does Xbox and Nintendo, their systems and stuff like that, use up annually for energy consumption? And when are they going to fix that? We don't care. Nobody actually seems to care about that. But I'm like, when are we going to start to care about that and try to fix those industries as well? Because these other industries are actually working on those issues way before anybody cared to hate about it. They were already working on it. We were looking into those issues in 2019, way before most people even knew what NFTs were. But yeah, I just feel like, more research, people, more open-mindedness, and more humility toward humanity. And we'll actually get somewhere. I think like those are the things that led us to the place we are now, where we have such great technologies. But we wouldn't be in this place that we are now if we were more closed-minded. And certain people were along the way. Certain people, just want to block off everything because it's going to stop their flow of progress, and maybe not even progress, but just being able to sustain at the level they have, because it's not progress for a company like YouTube, of YouTube size and the amount of money that they make, where they can make millionaires every day or every year and stuff like that, to not be fixing their economic or their environmental impact. And just because people haven't targeted them yet, that's not okay, but that's what we allow every single day. So yeah, I don't know. It's a matter of thinking about the companies that we're actually supporting. That said, yeah, I'll cover it right here because I'm gonna cover it again later on today. Let's go into Drip. I want to go into Drip really quickly. This is one of the platforms that Money Match Gaming uses to power our esports DAO treasury. I'm giving the power to the people, truly. in terms of voting and deciding where things happen. And guess what? That's going to be done through NFTs on an eco-friendly blockchain that's carbon neutral. But they're just JPEGs, right? No, they're voting rights. That's what they're going to be. But, you know, again, shoot the messenger. Yeah, and this is also on the Binance Smart Chain. So we just saw Binance Smart Chain's impact on the environment is so small, so negligible, that they didn't even care to put the 0.000 whatever the heck it was in on the chart. It's like, dude, we're not doing all these zeros. It's not happening. You know. But here it is. This is Drip. We're using Drip, which is just another DeFi protocol on the Binance Smart Chain. I feel like it's one of the more bullish protocols on the Binance Smart Chain. When we look at this thing, it's up and to the left. Now, this is only within like last 24 hours or so. But if I were to use another chart, this chart is going to have it on a little bit longer time period. And so this chart says that within the 1 hour, it's up 1.4%. Within 24 hours, it's up 21%. Within 7 days, it's up 95%. A lot of people are experiencing a cryptocurrency crash right now, not Money Match Gaming. 14 days, it's up 138%. In 30 days, it's up 102%. And this is not the full chart. A lot of people think that Drip only started about 2 months ago. That's what a lot of people think it started at $26 because CoinGecko added it then, and so that must be when it started, right? But there's other places than CoinGecko, and you only know this type of information if you've actually been in the market long enough, or you do enough research and have enough people, like-minded people that are doing research, that you start to find more information in more places. Because we were in Drip early on, and eventually we decided we need to use this for Money Match Gaming's esports. Let's extend that chart. Boom. So back in April 2022 or 2021 is when Drip actually started. April 23rd, it looks like. And Drip dripped all the way down to $1.52. Money Match Gaming recently picked up some Drip around, whatchamacallit. I told the Infinite we needed to start getting our Drip together when it did this dip down here in September, October, so around $7 range. And then we bought some it was like around November. So yeah, start of November when it was around $15. It's saying 14, but yeah, it's around $15. There it is. And since then, it's been up. And now we're up in this $150-something range, so it's like off the chart up here. But that's the actual true lifespan of Drip, which not a lot of people have actually seen. So again, if you're using CoinGecko, it's going to tell you Drip started at $20 because they don't have the full chart, and a lot of people just don't know the full history of things. You know, it just pays to, you know, the more time that you have to learn, the more that you do learn. just fact. But yeah, we're using Drip. Let me go back over to this full page to power Money Match Gaming esports. We're also using the Hive blockchain. The Hive blockchain is another eco-friendly project. Wow. Why is Money Match Gaming so involved in crypto and NFTs and stuff like that, but everything they use is eco-friendly? Because you can choose that option. You can get the Hummer that just spits out plumes into the air, or you can go the eco-friendly route and you're still using cryptocurrency and NFT technology. Like you have options, and everybody's trying to increase their thing and be better. And be more environmentally friendly, but while everybody's trying that, there are still options that are eco-friendly and stuff like that out there, and it just shutting it off entirely and thinking that you know everything, just assuming that I can't just say think, but assuming that you know everything is not the way to get about there. I would have never learned math in elementary school if the teacher said, Alvin, what's this? And I'm like, oh, I know math. I've done 2 + 2 before. I don't need this. I don't need this calculus course. I don't need this algebra course because I know multiplication. Get your parentheses out of here. Like, that just sounds silly. You would never learn more. You have to be open-minded. You have to let other people actually tell you actual information, and hear both sides. Be willing to hear both sides if you want to learn more. Like, you don't have to, but if you want to learn more. And I listen to a lot of the negative side of things, and I listen to a lot of the positive side of things. And quite honestly, most of the people that are talking about the negative side of things are very new to cryptocurrency and NFTs. Like, they haven't been around for, most people that are into NFTs have only been around for like 6 months or a year. And it's like, that's not long enough to actually know what you're talking about, truly. But, you know what I'm saying? Everybody thinks they know. Either way, we're using this negligible impact on the environment. The token today is at $156. Again, Money Match Gaming bought our initial tokens around $15. How do we get those initial tokens? We waited until we actually had donations from community members. So we got some donations from our community. The donations were worth $500 initially, and then we got another $100 donation. You can see right here, sitting on the side, we have $951 worth of drip, which we could just sell right now. This is liquid. Okay, liquid means that you can just sell it. You know, it's ready to transfer. Like if you just had cash in your pocket, that's liquid. You're liquid, $10 cash in your pocket. So this is liquid for us, $951. And again, we started with $600 total worth of donations, and we're small streamers. You know, none of our accounts are over 2,000 something followers for streams. Most of our streams, we have 2 to 8 people popping in, concurrent at a time. Meanwhile, we're teaching people more about the market, more about the economy, more about new technology, and how to actually earn the way that we earn. Because we started off, quite honestly, with $0 in cryptocurrency. Like I said before, I was really skeptical about crypto and stuff like that back in 2017. I believe that, I wasn't just I didn't have money. I don't have money. Never came from like a bunch of money or anything like that. And so I was like, yeah, if I'm going to get into this, I'm going to get into it and prove that, I can make money from nothing or with like very little. And then we'll see where it goes. But if I can make some money from this stuff without actually investing in it, then maybe I'll invest something. And a few months went by after I, had that feeling and did start doing my research and stuff like that. And I made about $20 on the Hive blockchain. I took that $20 and I invested it into my first cryptocurrency, other than Hive, which was ADA Cardano, which recently came out with their mainnet and DeFi protocol. And that 2-cent Cardano went up to $1 worth of Cardano, and that became about $2,000 from $20. And so we took that and we used that to fund the next year Money Match Gaming, jump into the D Live when D Live started with $600. And we've been off to the races ever since because D Live went up more than 1,400% in the last two years from the BTT token. So we just keep making smart investments. But all that comes from actually being engaged and being willing to learn more. Through the time that I've talked about this token has actually appreciated about 30 cents. Let's go and look into, so this is what we have for liquid over here. $952 worth of liquid drip that we can just sell right now. And then let's look and see what that $600 initial deposit that we made back in November is doing for Money Match Gaming's esports today. So initial $600 is earning us, or is worth today, not earning us, but this is worth $9,571. Now you saw before, we have $900 right here. And we also have a few more $100 that we've already pulled off of this and that are sitting on PancakeSwap. There's some liquidity sitting here, etc. But there's $900 right there that we could just sell. And then that initial deposit that we made, that we're going to be earning 1% off of our initial deposit every day, is worth $9,575 today. That means every day, Money Match Gaming is earning $95 a day from this platform alone. And we're also using Hive, creating blogs, and earning some cryptocurrency. We're also using video games, playing Axie Infinity, playing Gods Unchained, playing other games that we find where they're paying us cryptocurrency to do so. And Gods Unchained is on another one of these carbon neutral blockchains, IMX. Just playing Gods Unchained alone and getting a few packs of Gods Unchained token for about $20 or so. They gave us a few $1,000 worth of the IMX token. Like, it's the things that you can accomplish on blockchain when you actually care to, and for a carbon neutral blockchain. So it's like the argument of the Ecocide and stuff like that is out of the window. And that they're grifters somehow is out of the window when they're giving you thousands of dollars. Like, it just, and I don't know, but you would have that opinion if you've never actually been involved, right? Of course you would have that opinion. But right now, before, a 24-hour period has gone by, so we'll be earning 0.6 or whatever the heck of this. We have $88 to claim right now. What Money Match Gaming likes to do is what we do not just claim every single day. We do compound our earnings. And you can look that up. What does it mean to compound? Oops. Did I type that in wrong? Compound invest. I'm going to type compound investing. I want like a meaning. I just want like a quick description. Oh, because I didn't put an O in here. Compound interest in the interest to earn on interest. is the interest you earn on interest. Compound, but I don't want to do interest. Like, I mean, so yeah, but investing. There you go. Compounding is the ability of an asset to generate earnings. Simple and sweet. I'm like, they're going to have a really nice, tidy explanation of this. So compound is the ability of an asset to generate earnings, aka this is our asset, 61 drip, and that 61 drip is generating us earnings daily. So knowing stuff like that, which are then reinvested or remain. So this is the true process of compounding, because that's just earning interest on whatever you got though, really, or earning dividends. And so which are then reinvested or remain invested with the goal of generating their own earnings. And so what we do is we took that initial $600, we put it in here, and that initial 600 was about 30 drip. It was like 30 drip to start off with, and you can see now it's 60 drip. In like 3 months, we doubled in 3 months. It's becoming 3 months now. It'll be 3 months in a few days, like in one more week. But we took that 30 drip, and every at an 80 to 20% ratio, so every five days of the week, we will compound. We will push this hydrate button, and we will recompound. We'll take whatever we earn, so it's $80 today, aka 0.5 drip, and we'll put that back in our deposits. And what that'll do is that'll increase this. So instead of this being worth $9,500, it's going to go up by $80. So it's going to be $9,600. And so now we'll be earning, it's basically adding $1 more a day onto our earnings. So like if it stayed at the current price, we're pretty much adding 88 cents a day, like truly like 80 cents a day or something like that onto our earnings. And so 80, let's just say it was that much. But it's 90 something actually right now, because like it's a full day, right? So 0.95 times 30, if it stayed at the current price, that means every month we're adding at least $28 onto our daily earnings, and we're already at $95. So that means by month 2, or by the next month, without any price appreciation, as long as the price doesn't go down, right, we would be earning 95 plus that 28. I'm just gonna round, and that'd be $123 a day. Money Match Gaming has long had a goal of being able to provide for a $100 weekly tournament, and this makes it more than possible, because if we're claiming 2 days out of the week and we're reinvesting the other 5, that means we get $246 to work with for an event every week, and then the other days we're putting $615 back into our investments every week. So where every week we are taking that initial deposit that we got 3 months ago and putting it back in, starting the process over, like another 30 drip worth, basically what it was worth, 3 months ago, every week. And then we're also walking away with $240 something that we can just use for events. And that's what we're doing with this one platform. We did the exact same thing with DLive, with Hive Blockchain. That's what we do with our investments at Money Match Gaming. That kind of covers that. I didn't want to claim it right now just because I want to, whenever I start up our gaming stream today, I'm going to claim it. Again, I'll just be pushing the recompound button, which will put it over here. But I want to save that for that stream, so that's at the beginning of that stream when I talk about this. And I'll talk a little bit more about what Drip is as a platform when I do that. Yeah, that does it. I'm going to pull the stream down. Retitle it. I'm like, do I want to play some Smash Bros right now? I had it loaded up. I don't know if it's still loaded. No, it closed. I had it loaded up, but honestly, like I was saying, the Infinite and I've been talking about, it's just salt in the wound right now, where it's like, I like playing Smash, but Smash is also difficult with the player that I play. We play for the community and to build up with the community and to have fun with people and stuff like that. And when you're receiving hate the majority of the time that you do something for the way that you want to give back to that community, it just kind of makes you feel a certain way where you're like, do I even want to give back to that community anymore? We can give back to other people, which is why we've been focusing so much on our own team and our own players and stuff like that, because we'd rather give back to these people that believe in us and are there for us. Than to just give it to whoever and give them a chance to believe in us after they hated on us publicly or vocally, like was the case with our last caster. We're like, yeah, love you, hopefully you get better, and don't do that to other people that you considered friends at whatever point, because that's just not the way. But yeah, that's it from me. See you guys in the next one. Deuce.
market crashed on me, but that's not my last, homie. It ain't over for me. It ain't over for me. The market crashed on me, but that's not my last, homie. Only one logical thing to do. Don't trip by the dip, 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 by the dip. Don't trip by the dip, 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 by the dip. Don't trip by the dip. Get my chips and dip. Hot on coins and watch me flip. In and out, I'm stacking pips. Market looking bearish. By the dip, 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 by the dip.
Never invest more than what you're willing to lose. Some advice.